broken. It's okay to be blue. It's okay that you're frozen. It's okay if you lose when your time's going nowhere. In a daze like a fool.
Sam Brown is a singer, songwriter, and musician from England, and she has been a backing singer to the Stars. Her dad is Joe Brown, who was in a band called the Brothers and had a solo hit with Picture of You in the 60s, and has played with lots of really well-known people. He's a guitarist. Her mother was Vicky Brown, who was a well-sought-after session and backing singer. And she did her first backing vocals at 12. Her dad had a recording studio at their house when she was growing up. And she just kind of basically hung around with lots of really famous people. Her own career was launched in 1988 with a single and album called Stop. And she did really well in the charts in various countries with that. She's had several more albums and lots of other collaborations, and doing backing vocals fairly high profile for several people. She had 3 albums with a project called Homespun. Some of her best known backing vocal work is that on the Pulse tour for Pink Floyd, she sang part of The Great Gig in the Sky. That's on the Pulse album and also the DVD. She also sang Horse to Water at the Concert for George, which was in remembrance of George Harrison, who was a family friend. In 2007, her voice failed her. She lost control of the high notes, and so had to stop doing singing for a living. She took up teaching ukulele, and has had quite a reasonable career with doing ukulele clubs. However, she has tackled the problems with her voice and has released a new album called Number 8 in 2023. Hi, my name's Dan. So this review video is a bit of an unusual one. My channel is basically full of reviews of albums that appear on a list of the 3,000 greatest albums of all time, according to the Acclaimed Music website, and compiled at a certain point in 2020, I think. So I've been working my way through, going backwards from 3,000 upwards. I've done just over 300 at the moment, and if you're just dipping into this video and you're interested in that, please go check out my channel and go watch some of those videos as well. However, I have this intention at the moment that occasionally when there's a new release that I'm particularly interested in, I'm going to do a review for that as well, and this qualifies as one of those. So this is the 8th album by Sam Brown, and it's far from my first encounter with her. So I have to declare that I have been a long time fan of Sam Brown. She has recorded some amazing music with this incredible voice, and some really quirky songs when she's written her own stuff. Good songs, I would say. So I would say there are other people who have really good voices, so well known for it, Celine Dion and Whitney Houston. But for me, first of all, Sam's voice is so much more soulful than other people, and also the quality of the stuff that she sings is considerably better than some other people. I've mentioned Celine Dion and Whitney Houston. She actually drew me into Jools Holland because I found out that Jools Holland was coming to play near where I was, and that she was a guest. So I went to see, and then really loved the band and Jools Holland. So I've been several times. I've heard her sing live quite a few times as a result. I've been to one of her own kind of solo gigs as well. So that's my kind of declaration of partly why I'm doing this review, but also the fact that I'm not coming to this fresh, because I have a history of listening to Sam Brown. So the first thing that I need to get out of the way is the fact that this album is not the same as a lot of her previous work in that her voice has changed. So I said in the introduction thing that she's had problems with the voice. And so this album doesn't have the same, I'm going to say the same quality of voice that she's had previously. I think she would admit that that's true. It's quite low and breathy at times. Now, I had heard that the way that she tackled the problems with her voice is that she's used auto-tune. I wouldn't say that that is particularly, if I hadn't been told that, I wouldn't have known that by listening to it. It's not got that horrible auto-tune sound that you get from so much of modern pop, and that there was a Cher track, Believe, which seemed to kind of kick off this trend of having this awful auto-tune sound. So it's not like that at all, but it is not the same as a lot of her other songs where she's singing high. There have been other songs she's done in the past which were low like this. Musically, I'd say this is definitely electro-pop. It's very nicely done. It kind of is reminiscent of 80s electro-pop, but also into the 90s and kind of into pop dance stuff. Reminiscent a little bit of the Kylie Minogue, Can't Get You Out of My Head at times, that sort of thing. It's the recording is really nice. It's rich and it's kind of got this massive sound. There's some really nice grooves. One thing that particularly, I don't know if tickle's the right word, but intrigued me at one point was a track where there's an electric piano sound and then kind of glitch sound from like glitchy electronica stuff. It's still, musically quite quirky. There's some really nice arrangements in here. And if you know Sam Brown, then if I tell you that the chord sequences are very Sam Brown, then that might mean something. If you don't, then it probably won't. But she's especially keen on, or seems to be on, semitone key shifts. The songwriting, I have to say, is excellent. There's some really good stuff going on here. I would say that she is definitely not a Dolly mixture. There are songs here about life and regret and loss and attitudes to life and social commentary and identity and love and all sorts of really good messages here in the lyrics. So I really enjoyed those. The lyrics are often very much on the nose, so there's not a lot of this kind of stream of consciousness stuff or heavy metaphor that you get from other people. Is you can understand what she's trying to get at, and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing depends on your taste. I accept both kind of ways of doing things. It's fine. So I'm going to pick out a few songs particularly. So It's Okay is a song about it being okay to not be okay, which is a phrase that I really like. Doll is a track about people who kind of, I'm guessing mostly women, but who do themselves up in such a way that they look kind of plastic. And it's kind of, there's a modern trend at the moment of people, the way women do makeup. Not by no means all, but there's a certain trend that is kind of weird. Showgirl is a song about depression and pretense and pretending to be happy when you're not really. It reminded me a lot in terms of content of a song by Paramore called Fake Happy, which is another song that I really like. My favourite lyric on the album probably is one in that song, which is I Hate the Blossom Snow. There's a song, Not For Anyone, which is about having quite a mature attitude towards relationships and not getting caught up with relationships when you know that they're going to be damaging in the long term. Four on the Floor is a track about dancing. To some extent, actually, that's a somewhat disappointing song compared to the other ones, I thought, in that it's quite superficial. It's okay, really. Ghost is the song that I probably liked least musically. but it's a song about loss of a loved one. It's less in keeping with the rest, I would say. Overall, I think this is a great album. I think it's rare to find a balance between having great grooves, which is what this has got, and kind of boppy, dancey feel to it, and messages that are worthwhile and are worth having. Some people might find it a bit worthy. Um, I don't, but just putting that out there. I do love it. I have to say, I still mourn the loss of the amazing voice that she used to have. But I'm really glad that she's back. She's got some great stuff to say. There's some great tracks on this album. Um, so I really enjoyed it. I really rate this album. And I'd love to know what you think. So the chances are you've not had a listen before because this has only been out a few days. So please have a listen and let me know what your reactions are to it. I'd love to know. That's it from me for now.
Crash the bumper car, cry in the rain.